We'll have our fire ceremony now.
Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Om Tatsavitu Varuniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimani Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Om Tatsavitu Varuniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimani Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Om Tatsavitu Varuniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimani Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Om Tatsavitu Varuniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimani Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Om Tatsavitu Varuniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimani Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Om Tatsavitu Varuniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimani Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Om Bhurbhuvah Swaha Om Tatsavitu Varuniyam Bhargo Devasya Dhimani Dhiyo Yo Nah Prachodayat Om Kriyabans Nivaranam Varukamiva Bandhanam Mrityo Mokshiyam Amrita Swaha Om Triyambakam Yajame Sugandhi Pursevaranam Varukamiva Bandhanam Mrityo Mokshiyam Amrita Swaha Om Triyambakam Yajame Sugandhi Pustivaranam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityo Mokshiyam Amrita Swaha Om Triyambakam Yajame Sugandhi Pustivaranam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityo Mokshiyam Amrita Swaha Om Triyambakam Yajame Sugandhi Pustivaranam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityo Mokshiyam Amrita Swaha Om Triyambakam Yajame Sugandhi Pustivaranam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityo Mokshiyam Amrita Swaha Om Triyambakam Yajame Sugandhi Pustivaranam Urvarukamiva Bandhanam Mrityo Mokshiyam Amrita Swaha Om Swaha Om Swaha Om Swaha.
And we'll now have a couple of chants and meditation.
Open wide I keep for you, door of my heart. Open wide I keep for you. Wilt thou come, wilt thou come, just for once come to me. Wilt thou come, wilt thou come, just for once come to me. My days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord. Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Night and day, I look for thee, night and day, night and day. I look for thee night and day. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Wilt thou come, wilt thou come, just for once come to me? Wilt thou come, wilt thou come, just for once come to me? Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Night and day, I look for thee night and day. Night and day, I look for thee night and day. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Door of my heart, open wide I keep for thee. Wilt thou come, just for once come to me? Wilt thou come, just for once come to me? Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Will my days fly away without seeing thee, my Lord? Night and day, I look for thee night and day. Night and day, I look for thee night and day. Night and day, I look for thee night and day. Night and day, I look for thee night and day. I have made thee pole star of my life. I have made thee pole star of my life. Though my sea is dark and my stars are gone, though my sea is dark and my stars are gone, still I see the path through thy mercy. Still I see the path through thy mercy. I have made thee pole star of my life. I have made thee pole star of my life. Though my sea is dark and my stars are gone, though My sea is dark and my stars are gone. Still I see the path through thy mercy. Still I see the path through thy mercy. I have made thee, O star of my life. I have made thee, O star of my life. Though my sea is dark and my stars are gone, though my sea is dark and my stars are gone, still I see the path through thy mercy. Still I see the path through thy mercy. I have made thee, O star of my life. I have made thee, O star of my life. Though my sea is dark and my stars are gone, though my sea is dark and my stars are gone, still I see the path through thy mercy. Still I see the path through thy mercy. I have made thee, O star of my life. I have made thee, O star of my life. Though my sea is dark and my stars are gone, though my sea is dark and my stars are gone, still I see the path through thy mercy. Still I see the path through thy mercy. Still I see the path through thy mercy. Still I see the path through thy mercy.
Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Amen. This morning, the affirmation for self-healing is on energy. Energy is ours, not when we hoard our strength, but when we devote it willingly, joyously, toward the attainment of that in which we deeply believe. Faith and energy go hand in hand. If you have deep faith in what you are doing, you can move mountains. Energy is always highest when one's cause is just. The greater one's faith, the greater his willpower. And the greater his willpower, the greater his flow of energy. Please affirm with me, concentrating at the point between the eyebrows. Within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power. Within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power. A little more quietly with deep concentration. Within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power. Now in a whisper, within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power. And now silently, with deep concentration at the point between the eyebrows, within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power. Within me lies the energy to accomplish all that I will to do. Behind my every act is God's infinite power. And please pray silently with me. O cosmic energy, revitalize all the cells of my body. Recharge my mind with boundless inspiration and fill my soul with thy inexhaustible joy. Om Shanti Shanti.
Good morning once again, and welcome to Chennai. It's a joy to have all of you with us this morning. We will be reading first from Whispers from Eternity by Paramahansa Yogananda, entitled, O Divine Sculptor, Chisel Thou My Life. Every sound that I make, let it have the vibration of Thy voice. Every thought that I think, let it be saturated with the consciousness of Thy presence. Let every feeling that I have glow with Thy love. Let every act of my will be impregnated with Thy divine vitality. Let every thought, every expression, every ambition be ornamented by Thee. O Divine Sculptor, chisel Thou my life according to Thy design. And from the essence of self-realization, this is drawn from the chapter, The Lesson of Reincarnation. Paramahansa Yogananda said, why is a baby born crippled? Only reincarnation can explain this fact satisfactorily. People behold it as a sweet, innocent baby, but in some past life, that personality must have transgressed against God's law. This transgression deprived him of the consciousness of having good legs. Thus, and because the mind controls the body, when that person came back again into a physical body, he wasn't able to create a perfect pair of legs and was born crippled. Why is one person born a moron and another intelligent? God would be very unjust, wouldn't he, if he allowed such things to happen without a cause? But there is a cause. For what we are now is a result of our own actions at various times in the past. In our souls, we are immortal. But in our personalities, we cannot reclaim the consciousness of that immortality until our human imperfections have all been rubbed away. Working on ourselves is like chipping and polishing away the extraneous stone on a statue until the image that was hidden is revealed in all its perfection. Many years ago, as a matter of fact, it was 1980, a group of us, small group, went to India. And I must admit, we were only there for a month on spiritual pilgrimage. It was really hard to leave. And little did I know that it was 25 years before Roma and I were able to come back. And during this time, this was the expansion of Ananda. We started centers in the States, including one in Italy. And so in the very, very beginning, this was humble beginnings, again in 1980, there was a small center in Rome. And so on the way back from India, we thought, wouldn't it be wonderful to go visit them? And so we had about 3 days left of our journey. And so off we went. And I remember, of course, it was wonderful to see them all. But what I enjoyed especially was that when the phone would ring, there would be a big tussle because everyone was saying, you answer the phone, you answer the phone. And I was thinking, well, what is this? Well, it became obvious they didn't know the language. And so that was, again, the humble beginnings. And they moved in different places. Is often the tradition in growing Ananda in the various spots around the globe, and eventually landed in Assisi. And I remember long ago when I heard that Yogananda's patron saint was Saint Francis. And the time he spent in Assisi, he was a great saint, was so deep, and so many, really thousands, were drawn by his joyous magnetism. Well, during this time, we didn't have a lot of time, only 3 days. And so we knew there were many other places, of course, to visit of pilgrimage, but we headed back to the States. Well, in the mid-90s, Swami Kriyananda moved there, and he was there for 7 years before founding Ananda India. in Gurgaon in the Delhi area. And so we went a number of times with many others to CC, of course, to see Swami especially. We were missing him. And to see also some of the places that we hadn't seen in the earlier pilgrimage. And so a couple of different times that we went to these various spots, they were just supercharged with energy. One, I remember to this day very, very vividly. We went to, this was in Florence, which is a city that has tremendous beauty and filled with the Renaissance art of many centuries ago. And so we went there to see the extraordinary statue of David, which Michelangelo had carved. And the thing that really struck me was that there were some sculptures of these figures coming out of stone, and they were unfinished. And as I recall, I think that that was done purposely. And it was very, very striking because I thought, well, that's us. We're coming out of this dream like these statues. And there is perfection to be found, but we have to work at it. And so I'll never forget, there were a number of these statues. Again, each one, you would just look at it, you were just totally mesmerized by, obviously, Michelangelo was sharing a very deep message that this is the process. My dear friends, we grow out of the experience of this duality. And so be of good cheer. This is how it works. And also another place that we went, which also I remember to this day, was a monastery. And in this monastery, they allowed us to tour it, were pictures in the various cells of the young monks, the young neophytes. And in each of these cells was the picture of the crucifix of Jesus Christ on the cross. And this was undoubtedly to give the message to the young monks that it's going to take effort. Self-effort draws grace in order to achieve the heights that we are all seeking. And then as the tour continued, we went to the cells, and I was quite surprised and inspired to see these cells, as the tour guide told us. Now, these were of the older monks at the far end of the monastery. And the paintings there in each of those cells was the painting of Christ resurrected. And so it was quite something that, yes, in the beginning, we're a work in progress, that effort is needed. As Master said, living for God is martyrdom, martyrdom of the ego. So of course, it takes a lot of energy, as we well know, to continue to work on growing spiritually. But what a joy to see the rainbow, so to speak, at the end of our journey. There were these older monks now that had grown spiritually. And so for their reward, there in each of the cells was their Christ resurrected. And so for us, it really is a matter of being patient as God does his work, as Guru does his work, and appreciating that I know when I heard of this formula, a great rock lifted off my heart, that God does 50% of the work in freeing us of our karma. And then Guru comes along and he does another 25% left for us. But of course, God doing everything, then the equation becomes very, very sweet, because again, God is a director and playing all parts. But nevertheless, that 25%, we are not going to be advancing spiritually if we're just sitting on the couch reading magazines. As Master said of Mount Washington, there's lots of rats and mice on these grounds, but they're not advancing spiritually. And so it's important that we understand that every single day, every moment of every day. The minutes are more important than the years, as Master said. We want to relax into our own nature of the soul. And it's interesting to think that we will be putting out this energy, which oftentimes we think, well, that's going to create some tension, exercising my will. But really, as we are able to put aside the ego, we find more and more that we are spirit-driven, and that God and Guru are filtering through our thoughts, and filtering through our heart, and filtering through all the various things that we do. Many years ago, when I was a monk, I had lots more time then, and I would create some chants. And one chant was, "What is this life flowing through my veins? Can it be other than divine?" And then Swami came along and he added to the chant, making it so beautiful. And that chant was just drawn from, I believe, Metaphysical Meditations, the words of Master. But it's an important thought to recall often, really. What is this life flowing through my veins? Would it be other than divine? Of course. That's exactly it in the reading of essence. Yes, we have this personality, we have this ego, we're dealing in this dream as best we can, far better now that we have God in our lives and the gurus are with us. But nevertheless, to remember that it is the divine flowing through our veins. That's what's happening. That is the reality. And that's why Swami Kriyananda said that, he said, I just don't know how people can live without meditation. Because without meditation, one gets caught up in this dream so easily. Because this dream is in chanting. There's no question about it. There's so many, many amazing things to do. And that's why Swami said that we've been around a long time. And when he asked Master, have I been your disciple for a long time? Master said, yes, it's been a long time. But that's all I'll say. And though time and space are an illusion, nevertheless, I don't think Master wanted to tell Swami how long it had been. Swami was concerned that he wasn't the only straggler, but all of us have been around again and again because there's so many attractive things to do. But once we've had our fill, and that's what it takes. There's many good people here, and I used to be mystified many years ago at Ananda. Roma and I were there at the seclusion retreat, the first retreat that Swami had founded. And many very good people would come, very refined. And yet they just seemed to be sampling. They didn't seem to be all that interested. And I just didn't understand because I thought, my God, here's a person, they have this intelligence and this refinement. And why aren't they interested in diving in to these teachings or finding a path that resonates for them? Well, it was kind of like Swami, whose brother, and what a blessing to be Swami's brother. One time he went to him and said, I have the autobiography of a yogi. Would you like to read it? And he said, well, frankly, Don. And he was a good man, teacher of the year at one point in Davis, California. He said, frankly, I'm just not interested. And so for us, we have to remember with very deep and growing gratitude that we are interested. And we're only interested because we've had enough. That's all. That's why we have pierced the veil with God and Guru's help to go inside, because we now are saturated. And so because there's not that much left, we wouldn't have attracted a guru if we were still riddled with desires and attached to our personality and body and wedded to the senses. It just couldn't happen. We'd still be running around sampling all of the things that this world has to offer. But we've had enough of that. And so that's why Swami Kriyananda said again and again, especially toward the end of his life, that we should go after Nirvikalpa Samadhi. And I don't remember him saying that all that much. Maybe I was blind, deaf, and dumb in the early years, likely so, but still it seemed like in his later years when he was truly in a state of grace, he was holding that out before us because he knew that really after incarnations, somehow, some way, Ananda, Master especially, had attracted this large family, as Master said in the end of the autobiography of the yogi. Lord, thou hast given this monk a large family. And so those attracted to Master and of course to the great saints of India and around the world, it became an important message to hear from Swamiji that we should go after freedom in this lifetime. And yet at the same time knowing that Divine Mother is perfect, the gurus are perfect, God is perfect, and so they will find the perfect time for us to be awakened from this dream. They know that time now. And so in one way, we can relax as children of the Guru, as chelas, that time is there. And we will have a bliss that will be permanent, and we will have that experience through eternity. As Master said, now my life has become an unbroken inspiration. That's what we'll have. And so that, for that reason, and perhaps many more reasons, to also share the blessing we've been given and so forth, it's a great incentive to continue to make the effort. And that's why it's so important. And it's a joy to have you all with us from Chennai, because from time to time, it's wonderful to share with our expanded family, even in this way with Zoom, because in that way, we find again and again that it's not just us. We're not alone. Sometimes we think with the tests that we have, especially during these challenging times, we can feel isolated. And of course, we can feel that all the more with this pandemic. But is that the case? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. One of my favorite meditations, although a little unorthodox, that I would enjoy from time to time when I was with, a large group of people, maybe hundreds. Perhaps we were at Swami's Satsang, and we would be meditating. And I would, with open eyes, look around because I could feel the vibration. As it says in the Bible, where two or more are gathered, there I am in the midst of them. Here we were hundreds. And I would look and see all these angels. And I would think, oh my God, what a privilege. What a privilege to spend time in this lifetime with these many, many souls. Because I was raised in a wholesome environment, loving parents, everything that I could possibly want was there. And from time to time, I would meet someone who seemed to have a glow. My parents had that glow, which I deeply appreciated and respected. But it was from time to time I would find these people. Maybe someone at the grocery store, maybe someone at the post office, whatever it might be. But Ananda, when I first came, I saw all these people and I thought, oh my gosh, what is this? I was just thunderstruck that there could be so many people that would have this vibration. And as Swamiji said, it's because of what we're doing. It's what we're doing that allows us to be instruments for God. And as we are able to deeply appreciate this rare privilege of serving, as we like to share from time to time, and it's with humor, but also there's a serious element that God has an employment problem. As it says in the Bible, the harvest is plenteous, but the laborers are few. Many good people, and perhaps it just takes one more speck of good karma, and then they pierce the veil and go inside. But many, many people in this world, the billions of people, they're just not interested in going inside. But we are. And we really mean business with God. We mean business because we have come to the point in our spiritual evolution where we have realized our purpose. And this is everyone's purpose, if you realize it. But it's everyone's purpose to come down to this earth plane in order to grow spiritually and hopefully to find God. And so we are really a work in progress. My father being a civil engineer, I was around construction a good bit, and I even built a house with my dad. I was the assistant carpenter. He was the main foreman. And I appreciated that as the house was going up, it was a work in progress. And so I didn't have to think, well, where are the windows? This house looks odd. Where are the doors? Where's the roof? I didn't have to think any of those things, of course, because I knew this was a project that was going to take some time. Well, so it is with us. We have to have a joyous expectation, expect a miracle, all of these things, so that we can continue to be in tune and to grow spiritually. But at the same time, there has to be a sense of humor, a sense of long rhythm, as Master said, regards his work as a guru, that in helping the disciples, he had embraced a big job. And so it's a big job, but is the job almost finished? It's getting close. It's getting very close. Because again, once one attracts the blessings of gurus and satsang and all of these things, then it means that there's been so much good karma. In the past, as Master said, it takes very, very, very good karma even to want to know God. And that's quite a statement. And so what a privilege it is to spend time in one another. As I often say, we heal each other at a glance. That's how much spiritual power is coming through all of us as instruments for the guru. We heal each other in a glance. We can go into a situation where we're feeling, even, disciples can have their times that are a little tough. And we go into satsang and we're feeling a little bit blue. And walking in the door, even before, we meet our other guru vais, we feel this uplifted vibration. The energy is beginning to rise up the spine in response to this vibration of this environment. That's why environment is stronger than willpower. And so again, Mother India with all of these powerful shrines. And we make a temple of our own hearts, as we well know, through meditation. And of course, we have our various centers and meditation groups and all these various spots here in India and around the world where people can congregate and grow spiritually. And so, of course, we're really eager now to start to get together now that it looks like things are getting a little bit more reasonable along with this pandemic. Because why is this pandemic? I was talking with a friend the other day and I said, I think it's just because we haven't been cooperating as international citizens. And that's, again, quite an understatement. And so because it was time to cooperate, then Divine Mother decided, okay, we need to have actually quite a harsh lesson in order to understand. And so the whole world, in many respects, have come together to fight this incredible challenge. And so it's brought us together. We're cooperating. And so that's how it is. God does everything for the best. Our challenges that we face internally, the challenges that we face externally, we can't forget that God loves us. As I was sharing also with a friend, Divine Mother doesn't have a mean bone in her body. She doesn't. Everything she does is from love and from joy, and we should challenge that, and we'll find it to be true. And sometimes she has to be tough, as she is now in disciplining this world, but it's always, always with joy and love, knowing that it's only so that we can merge into the light. That's it. Remember that the shadow glorifies the light. And so with all this chaos, as Master said, after all is finished with this purification, wherever it might take us, then there'll be peace for 300 years. What does that speak of? That speaks of a higher consciousness. That Kali Yuga will finally, so it appears, loosen its grip or release its grip completely and allow Dwapara to fly on wings of energy and of light and joy. And we're very fortunate to be in an ascending age where it will support our efforts to grow spiritually. So again, God bless you. It's a joy to spend time with all of you in this way. And may our prayers soon be answered that we can begin to, again, have satsang in person. It's getting closer. Okay, so now we'll have our Aarti, so we'll have a chant to accompany that and blessing.
I will sing thy name, I will drink thy name and get all drunk with thy name. I will sing thy name, I will drink thy name and get all drunk with thy name. I will sing thy name, I will drink thy name and get all drunk with thy name. I will sing thy name, I will drink thy name, and get all drunk with thy name. I will sing thy name, I will drink thy name, and get all drunk with thy name. I will sing thy name, I will drink thy name, and get all drunk with thy name. I will sing thy name, I will drink thy name, and get all drunk with thy name. I will sing thy name, I will drink thy name, and get all drunk with thy name. I will sing thy name, I will drink thy name, and get all drunk with thy name. I will sing thy name, I will drink thy name, and get all drunk with thy name. I will sing thy name, I will drink thy name, and get all drunk with thy name. I will sing thy name, I will drink thy name, and get all drunk with thy name. I will sing thy name, I will drink thy name, and get all drunk.
Now we'd like to share a blessing from the gurus with you, and as you receive the blessing, offer a prayer of gratitude to the infinite Christ, in whose love our line of masters have descended, that we might all come to God. Pray too for the grace to share with all as you have received, for you are part of all that is. May the light of the great masters shine upon you. Now let's close our satsang with a healing prayer and include all those who you know who are in need of healing energy. Include souls everywhere on this earth who are in need. Our planet, all of the animals, the water, the air, the plants. Include our earth in this healing prayer. And see everything shining and radiant with God's light, His joy, and His love. Let's pray together. Divine Mother, thou art omnipresent. Thou art in all thy children. Manifest thy healing presence in all bodies, in all minds, and in all souls.